loads of ICE police, ICE raiders, ICE jackboot thugs storming into this restaurant. Apparently, they handcuffed everyone who worked at the restaurant. And then, it's kind of the shoot them all and sort them out, let God sort them out. You just handcuff everyone, and then you decide later if they're the people you actually wanted to arrest. NPR reported the chaotic scene from a federal immigration raid on a popular San Diego restaurant is drawing attention to government tactics. A special agent with the Department of Homeland Security told NPR that officials were executing a criminal search warrant, and they ended up black bagging a few people, throwing them into an unmarked van and driving them off to God knows where. Some witnesses in the news report say agents at first handcuffed the entire restaurant crew as they asked for identification. Several workers were ultimately detained and whisked away into the night. Who knows where they were taken or whether their families will be able to get a hold of them. Truly repulsive new America, but good for the San Diego residents. Many of them stood up to this. The ICE agents then threw, what are they called? Flashbang grenades. These are grenades that technically won't hurt you unless you're on top of them. So sometimes people will lose their, eyes and things if a flashbang grenade is thrown straight at them. But that's no problem. That's just some fun old collateral damage. Everyone loves a little good collateral damage as you're raiding Americans and trampling on everyone's rights and whisking them away. Why not throw some less than lethal is the term, right? Less than lethal grenades and see what that does to the situation. Here's some more video. This one coming from Instagram, so I think I can play the audio on this one, but while the flashbang grenade noise, I think, was from the original video, I don't think the was in the original moment. I think that was probably added later, but who knows? Maybe DHS and ICE have gotten into adding that kind of music as they trample on people's rights. Let's talk for a moment here about, there's going to be people whenever you show the assault on immigrants, but of course it's not just an assault on immigrants because many of the people we've seen captured are American citizens or are the family of an American citizen, or it's the mother of a child who's an American citizen. So this is not just an assault on immigrants. It's an assault on plenty of people who are actual U.S. citizens. The sponsor for this video is Chapter, a free Medicare navigation and advice service. So if you're 65 or older or your parents are, Chapter can really help you understand the 24,000 plans. Yes, there's 24,000 with Medicare, Medicare Advantage, and Medigap. 96% of people who use Chapter return to use it the next year. Seniors have historically saved over $1,000 a year using Chapter. Also, Chapter has a near perfect reviews online by those who have used it, and it's got an A+ with the Better Business Bureau, and it's free. So check out if Chapter's right for you or your parents. You can either go to askchapter.org/camp, my last name, or call 757-349-8232. All this info will also be in the description of this video. And did I mention it's free? But anyway, we'll ignore all of that, and we'll ignore all of the innocent people that ICE has rounded up, such as Native Americans at times. We'll ignore all of that, and we'll just say, okay, they absolutely have just gotten immigrants, they've arrested immigrants, and good for them. And how do you respond if you are opposed to this and people yell, oh, well, they broke the law? They came into this country. Again, this is ignoring all of the people who didn't break the law but were arrested anyway. We're putting those aside for a second. They broke the law. Well, millions of people across this country break the law in some form or another every goddamn year. In fact, I'd be surprised if anyone watching this has not broken the law over the course of the past year. And sure, some of those are small, nothing laws like don't loiter somewhere, don't do a rolling stop at a stop sign in the middle of the night where there's no one for 70 miles. Don't. And then some of them get a little bit bigger. Oh, you did that certain type of drug. Well, that was illegal. Oh, you bought this from. Oh, you declared your goldfish as a dependent on your tax returns. There's millions of laws, not millions, but there feels like millions of laws out there. But we decide which one of those, it's a cultural thing or a societal thing to decide which one of those laws are going to be the ones where we send jackbooted thugs to go and hold guns to people's head and throw them into a van and trample on their rights and ship them to a prison in El Salvador. Every one of our Congress people has broken the law in some way this past year. Trump himself has had like 1,000 cases. That's not an exaggeration. Literally 1,000 cases against him. And, he goes to court and he fights them. And then sometimes he has to pay someone, but he usually ignores it and doesn't pay that, which is breaking another law. And you notice that dudes with guns rarely show up and throw Trump into a van. This is what I'm talking about when he was president, when he's not president, all of those times. Because that is not what's done to the upper echelon of our class in the class system in this country. Those people don't see the thugs with the guns showing up at their doors, or incredibly rarely. And if you do see it, it's the exception that proves the rule. So we decide which are the crimes that require no-necked idiots to show up with guns and throw you into a van and whisk you away from your family and ship you to another country. Very few. Or ship you to prison. Very few. That is a societal decision. It's a cultural decision. So when people say, oh, they broke the law, we should remind them that pretty much everyone in this country, with the exception of Mormons, is breaking the law. That's not true. Many of them are polygamists and marrying 14-year-olds. So I take that back about the Mormons. We're all breaking. It's you're just deciding which ones are the ones that are non-human, that should have their rights trampled on to such a degree that they're locked in a van, whisked away, don't get a lawyer, sent to another country. Furthermore, let's remember that we destroyed the countries that many of these people, most of these people, have fled from. We've destroyed them in a myriad of ways. We've killed their socialist leaders. We've assassinated people. We've destroyed their economy. We have sanctions on them. You name it, we've done it to just about every country that these people have decided to leave to come to the United States. So maybe there should be a little understanding of that. Also, we should perhaps remember during all of this that nation states are really just a brain parasite, all right? It is a stupid brain parasite designed to make us think we aren't all humans, united in this quest to make this world, this life work for all of us. That is what we should really be focused on, our shared humanity on this crazy rock floating in space. Instead, it's, oh, we hate those people because they were born on that side of the line, and that makes them fucking idiots, or makes them awful, or makes them parasites, makes them less than human, human. We can bomb them because they were born in that part of the little globe on which we float on. We should instead appreciate that shared humanity, work together to actually create a sustainable future for all of us and our children and our grandchildren and all of those things that we pump out, rather than murdering and arresting each other. Also, we should remember that the U.S. is a nation of immigrants. It always has been, except for when it was Native Americans, and clearly they don't matter, right? Why should they? Trump's family name, as many of you probably already know, is actually Drumpf. D-R-U-M-P-F. He is a family of immigrants. They came to this country just like the people he is now having arrested and the Democrats have arrested when they're in power. I probably don't need to remind all of you that Joe Biden arrested and deported more people than Donald Trump did in his 4 years. Now, I'm not saying Trump won't break that record this time around, but so far, Biden still holds that record. But yes, this is a nation of immigrants throughout our history, and I'm talking recent history, past couple hundred years, generally had each year, we've had about 10%. It can vary a little, but about 10% of our population have been immigrants. And that has been the same through most of our existence. So there is no like, oh, they're, destroying they're taking all our jobs, destroying our, no, they fucking aren't. No, they aren't. You're just told to be afraid so that you get in line, and you need to hate. They don't want the ruling elite don't want you pointing the hate finger at them. So instead point it at the person next to you who happens to be slightly darker skin color. So unless you're 100% Native American, stop yelling at immigrants, okay? You're an immigrant. Your family's immigrants. Anyway, that's okay. Let's ignore all of that. All of the facts I just put out there revolved around that, and instead arrest people, destroy their families, ship them to El Salvadorian prisons without any rights whatsoever. That seems to be the better way to go. No? Absolutely.